Welcome, traveler. We've been expecting you. My name is Pravus, and welcome to the fabulous Fear Machine. This is a new narrative-driven pulp horror strategy game, perfect for October. As master of the machine, you are granted one wish, and you use the machine to instill fear and terror in the people of the world, building a narrative and pushing them toward some grand agenda, but beware. Once your deal with the machine is concluded, it shall take your story and add it to its own collection, and you might find that the ending doesn't work out the way you anticipated. Such is the premise of the fabulous Fear Machine. This is developed by Fictiorama Studios and published by AMC Games, and it's actually launching on Steam starting today on October 4th. And to celebrate that, the publisher has offered to sponsor me today to go ahead and show off what this game has to offer. I'm happy to accept that, so a big thank you to them for that. And of course, if you guys like what you see and you want to learn more, there will be that link in the description down below, and I should mention that the game is going to be discounted during the launch week. Without any further ado, let's get started. Now, this game consists of 3 main campaigns, right? And these are all individual narrative-driven stories that will push you along with the game, introduce you to new concepts, and overall just tell a scary pulp story. We're gonna go ahead and play with Double Blind. This is the first story you would get to encounter, and it's a little bit gruesome. Here we are introduced to the new Master of the Machine. This is Jen Hammond, a brilliant scientist who has one particular wish on her mind. They're not going to tell you exactly what that wish is up front. That's something you're going to uncover as you continue with the game and her particular agenda is being fulfilled. But right now, at the very beginning, she finds the machine and gets to make a deal with them. And there are certain conditions to this agreement once the deal is up. But she accepts these conditions. Let's get started without delay. And in that case, go ahead and make a fateful wish. With the power of the machine at her disposal, she shall use fear to make her ambition rule the world. And until that wish comes true, the machine and its agents are at her disposal. Welcome to Double Blind, a thrilling story of ambition, disease, and pill bottles. So shocking, you won't take your eyes off of it. Welcome to Chapter 1 of her story, how the sad and lonely Jen Hammond became the most powerful scientist in the British Isles overnight. Here we can see our objective, and quite simply, we need to become the CEO of the region's most powerful pharmaceutical company, Fadro Farm. To accomplish that, there are 3 messages that we need to impart upon the people of the British Isles. Only Fadro drugs can guarantee good health, generic drugs should be outlawed, and all natural remedies are dangerous, granting us unlimited power. Together, these 3 will make Fadro Farm unbelievably influential and wealthy. To help us in our journey, we can take along an agent, Eliphas and Renee. I think I'll go ahead and take Renee. Let's begin. Welcome to the British Isles. We now need to divide the map up into 3 different regions. We have Scotland, Ireland, and of course England and Wales, and in each of these we need to transmit one of our messages. So for example, only Fadro drugs are good in Scotland will be a message we transmit there. Then we should say all generic drugs should be outlawed in England and Wales, and Ireland is going to fear all form of natural remedy. Now we've selected which messages are going to go where. We have to place the seed of fear and terror on the map. I think I'll go ahead and begin up here in northern England. This will be fine, and now we start spreading fear throughout the region. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the game here because now we need to start assigning our agents towards some particular job. Hi, Renee. You're gonna go ahead and discover Manchester for me. And here we will be able to start influencing this particular city. In Castlefield, we can implant either some oleum fuel, which is kind of a resource we're going to be using, and I'll explain a bit more about this later, or we could set down several different resources we could use to fuel the machine and a particular narrative. First thing I think you should always do is go ahead and place down a refinery and get some oleum producing. And then once we have that, we're going to need to go ahead and start exploring St. Mary's Cathedral, so we'll be able to set up an additional resource generator of our choice. With this chosen, now we need to decide what narrative we want to spend here in England and Wales. My objective is to get up to 75% fear in England and Wales, and we have several different ways of doing that. Over here on the left, you can see we have 4 main categories for different types of narratives that we can spread. Power and conspiracies, form and fear of disease and decrepitude and pain, the passions, fear of violence and death, and of course the occult, the irrational, the unknown, the paranormal, all things that will play upon people's fear. If we want to start in something like, let's say, the occult, what about the phantoms of the tunnel, right? We can go ahead and place this over here in one of these slots in Manchester. So now this narrative is starting to take root, and as this rumor and this fear begins to grow, we'll be able to evolve it and let the narrative take on a life of its own, spreading fear throughout the region. That said, in order to boost up this particular narrative, we're going to end up needing some resources to level it up over here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my agent, and once we've explored this region, like so, we are going to implant the visions resource right over here. Now, you don't just generate these automatically. What you need to do is use an agent to start extracting the resource, which will take a little bit of time. As fear continues to spread in the region, by the way, we get some rewards. Let's click on this, and oh, we also get Eliphas over here as our second agent. More agents just give us more opportunities to do more things, and we like that. So tell you what, let's go ahead and explore up here in this city so that we'll be able to place down another narrative over there. And in the meantime, we have finished harvesting this resource. Let's go ahead and take advantage of that. I'll start extracting some more. And with those resources already placed, we can now level up the Phantoms of the Tunnel narrative. Now here you have a little mini game, right? There are several different keywords. If you can try to figure out which of these in some way is going to match up with this narrative, you can get a small bonus. I don't really know just from the prompts here what's going to work. I could go for the Great Beyond. Maybe it has something to do with the paranormal and the dead. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we get a bonus. That levels up. There we go. We learn a bit more. Years ago, tragedy derailed on these tracks. Okay. And we can see that the fear of the occult is starting to spread faster and faster in this region. Now we can go ahead and move over here to Glasgow, which will open up another city that we can start to influence. And if they have any fear, you can place down another one of these refineries, which I know I haven't talked about yet, but that's fine. We'll come back to this. For now, let's go ahead and place down Gaia. This is another resource that I'm going to need. We can begin extracting this. And because in Scotland I have a particular objective, we need to get more than just a bit of fear. We also need to get fear of the decrepitude in this area. I'm going to go ahead and place down another narrative. This time I'm going to go for, let's say, maybe the sandbox virus. We can place that right here at the cost of 400 of this oleum resource, shown down here in the bottom left. So this resource is something you're going to need to fuel a lot of your actions, and that's why these refineries become important, because it can provide you 100 of this resource every cycle, which is kind of like every, I don't know, like 30 days or so. This becomes extra important because right up over here we have a flame. As this begins to build in strength, you start naturally burning away some of your oleum as you fuel up the machine. The longer the game goes on, the more of this you start to burn away. If you cannot build up enough of this resource, at some point you come to a screeching halt, and there's really nothing you can do as far as continuing to spread the fear. So always place down refineries in these cities when you can. I'm gonna go ahead and get these Gaia resources like so, and with that done, let's go ahead and continue exploring. I want to go ahead and place down another refinery, and of course now the sandbox virus can be leveled up. What's a word that will work with this? It all starts with an innocent sneege. Maybe biology. There we go. All right, we get a small bonus over there. We can see that the fear of the decrepitude, which is the one I'm really worried about, is starting to build up. Droplets of saliva floating in the air. A doctor friend of mine swore to me the virus is going to spread to all our parks. Our children are doomed. This is how fear spreads, right? Rumors, terror, irrationality. We've earned ourselves another reward for spreading so much fear, and this is going to be some sort of a bonus card we can use to boost ourselves up in some way. So, for example, extra experience for agents during a particular mission. Honestly, worthwhile, because leveling up your agents does transmit into future levels. So the faster we can level up our agents, the better this is going to be for the rest of the campaign. Actually, case in point, right now our agent down over here has already leveled up. Let's click on this. Now, a fun thing about these agents is they all have their backgrounds. You can see that they're wearing a mask. They are currently servants of the machine, but previously they were masters of the machine before they had to give over their story. So as we level up, we will be able to learn a little bit more about their particular background. A prodigious imagination, one of 6 sisters. My only salvation from misery was a sketchbook and crayons. and a prodigious imagination. This character was an artist. As we learn more and they continue to level, we'll piece together their backstory. And the most important thing is they have gained some additional skills in several different categories. We have strength, intuition, and stealth. These different skills are useful for different reasons. Strength helps you get additional essences, these resources I was talking about, a little bit faster. Intuition helps you explore, and stealth helps you infiltrate. Why is infiltration important? Oh, you'll see. That's the reason why. Right up over here, something new just popped up. We have a rival, someone who is attempting to counter our narrative for their own gain in some way. Or, I mean, they could be a do-gooder, someone who's just trying to counter misinformation. The point is, this person is going to be spreading counter narratives, and they can overwhelm our story in some way. So this is someone who's actively trying to defeat me. We'll come back to that a little bit later, though. Let's go ahead and level up this agent right over here. And this guy used to be a mystic. Well, that's interesting. And we can also upgrade the Phantoms of the Tunnel. Let's see. I'm going to go for Catastrophe. I assume that's correct. There we go. We get another bonus. And how does this continue to develop? The errant souls want to end their journey. Oh, boy. It sounds like we've got haunted ghost tunnels. Let's see, what's another narrative we could try to spread? Fake prostheses in Scotland. That could be kind of fun. And before my opponent can do a lot to me, let's go ahead and infiltrate them. You can send your agents over here and begin an infiltration. That's where the stealth skill becomes very helpful. It's Victor Hesselberg. Interesting, a general manager of the same pharmaceutical company that I'm trying to take over. There is some banter you can expect between characters here. So for example, did we know that Jen's parents worked for Hessel many years ago? Oh man, but they never even mentioned they had a daughter. Oh, I hope you can live up to their tremendous legacy. I'm gonna assert my own independence. Don't compare me, I got where I am on my own merits. No one handed me anything. Aha, arrogant and haughty, a true Hammond. We're gonna go ahead and continue infiltrating this guy because really what we need to do is find some dirt on Victor, ways of discrediting his own narrative so we can crumble his story and ensure that our fear is the most powerful in Britain. We can boost up the sandbox virus again, by the way. Let's see. Maybe adults? Nope, no bonus on that one. All right, I was hoping maybe the adults were somehow responsible. A shadow of death is falling over the park. Oh no. Whenever you do try to infiltrate your opponents, you're going to have some sort of a special event and one of those skill checks. Now, in this case, we've got enough stealth skill that I'll pass this one guaranteed, but it's not always going to be the case. Sometimes you only have like a 70% chance of success. Regardless, though, this time around, we found a fragment of information. A melancholy janitor. The man is hitting bottom, and we could use his mental instability to our advantage. If I can get enough of this particular resource, which I don't remember what it's called, Destiny, that's the one. If we can use some Destiny, we'll be able to use that information to sabotage Hessel's effort. And that's important because he just placed a card of his own. If we click on this, we haven't explored it yet, so I don't know what this is, but we're going to start seeing his own fear blobbing across all of Ireland. In the meantime, though, we did fulfill all of our objectives in Scotland, so I can claim this territory for myself. And by doing so, we begin to unlock a little bit of Jen's story. We learn about a child who was clearly neglected by her brilliant parents. Never noticed, never seen. And now that I farmed out a little bit more Destiny in London, let's spend some of our oleum to explore this city over here in Ireland because I need to take down this card before it gets too influential. We can see where the opponent is planning on acting next, and they'll place down one of their narratives over here. Once they do so, it doesn't matter what you've implanted here, you're going to lose access to this resource. So if it's anything really important, be prepared to need a way to counter that narrative quickly to unlock it again. And by the way, it looks like I can finish maxing out the story for the Phantoms of the Tunnel, a one-way ticket to the other world. The government has decided to close stations for, maintenance reasons. Well, that's pretty good. We were able to spread a lot of fear, but not quite enough here in England yet. No. We need a little bit more. 75. Really close, though. All right, so, hi, Dublin, what's up? All right, so over here, we are going to start by going ahead and destroying their card. So if I click on this here, we can use the Melancholy Janitor, use the Destiny, and this is going to do 2 damage. That's how much health this particular story has. So by using this and our Destiny, we are going to burn this to the ground. No grand charity gallows for yourself. He's jockeying to become CEO himself. I'm not going to let him do that. No. Oh, and he's a little bit peeved at me. I'm gonna be aggressive against him. You getting nervous? A little too old for the game, Victor? Yeah, he's peeved. That's fine. But by infuriating him, we kind of made it so that he moves a little bit more rapidly. Probably should try to play against the character and the personality of your rival a little bit, but I like taunting my foes. We've claimed England and Wales, at least temporarily, so we can learn a little bit more. Years of hard work. Jen becomes brilliant herself, like her parents. Let's go ahead and place down another card of my own right over here. There we go. Sharpie the Clown. Who doesn't like clowns, right? Me, I hate clowns. I'm terrified of them. Like so many other people, which is why it's such a great story for violence and fear. Scotland has fallen into complete and total panic, by the way, which actually means we get even more essence extraction if that's something I want to do here. Not that I'm worried about it right now. Let's go ahead and continue evolving the story of Sharpie the Clown. Let's see. Joke? That sounds like the sort of thing that could be relevant for a clown. All right, the circus has come to town. Plum, boys and girls, excitement, fun, lots of laughs. I hate these things. Oh, and he's continuing to spread more of his cards. How very rude. Let's go ahead and destroy this in Ireland. We're going to go for an accounting short vol, doing a lot of damage, costing some oleum, but I've got a lot of that. Notice, by the way, that the longer the game has gone on, this flame is getting larger. It's burning a bit more of my resource. Are clowns supposed to be sweet? I guess they're supposed to be. That's fine. Maybe less so when they have a bloody knife behind their back, though. Come on, Ireland. You're afraid. Be afraid. They're terrified. Perfect. All right, we'll go ahead and claim that. And that means I've actually claimed all 3 regions in the British Isles. We have successfully won this particular mission. The CEO believes that he's leaving his company in good hands. Now, we could actually defeat our rival if I had destroyed all of his cards, right? That would have been one way of getting rid of him so I could continue to spread uncontested in the British Isles, but in this case, I decided to go for checkmate. So there we go. We have completely destroyed all faith in generic drugs and natural medicine. The British Isles believes only our pharmacy can indeed provide the drugs necessary to keep them safe. And as CEO of that incredibly powerful company, that puts Jen in a great position. As a reward for completing this mission, we get to choose between 2 different buffs that will go with us for the rest of this particular campaign. Fear spreads faster on the map, or the flame takes extra time to grow in its size. Tell you what, I like the idea of fear spreading faster. Go ahead and plug this sucker into the machine. There we go. Let's continue with our story. The young and ambitious Jen needs a dramatic turn of events. How can she get all of Europe hooked on Fadro's products? Quite simple. We're going to take some extremely dangerous and addictive drugs and make them the market leaders. We need to make sure everyone believes that Nolopain is the only effective remedy for pain. Only Relaxum can overcome anxiety, and all other opiates should be unrestricted and unregulated. So now we move on into Europe itself. Where do we want to spread these messages? Honestly, we probably want to spread Nolopain over here in Western Europe. We can go for the Relaxum in, let's say, Northern Europe. And how about unregulated opiates in Central Europe? That'll do. Now let's go ahead and place the seed. I guess I'll go ahead and place it over... I guess here's fine. Now, some regions are going to have special modifiers on them, local myths that we can use to our advantage. For example, the ancient beasts. You like to think that it's Nessie, but probably not. It's something else. If we can spread a narrative of the correct category in this region, this local legend is going to make it significantly more impactful. So we can explore Paris over here. I'll start by placing down an oleum refinery, and then we need to place down an active legend. How about the Black Dog? That'll cost me 400 oleum, but now this is making some progress. We'll place down a vision resource here in the catacombs, and as soon as we have some of that, we'll use it to enhance the Black Dog. We've also discovered another character. You can occasionally discover something like this, somebody who can take resources and do something useful, like get me an extra one of those bonus cards, or take a lot of the vision and get some extra terror in the region. Not especially worried about that, though. Let's go ahead and collect this, and we will boost up the Black Dog. What do we want to go for? How about Flesh? Yes, 2 red flashes light up the darkness. The cattle's screams are bone-chilling. Continue exploring a bit more in Paris. We can go for another upgrade. What do we want over here? How about Savage? Yes, it's a Savage Black Dog. Ooh, actually very scary. Nothing you can do to protect them. So let's go ahead and move over here to, let's say, Berlin. I need to start spreading some additional legends. Specifically the Bogeyman. We can see that this would actually be very impactful over here. Let's begin another one of these local legends. Now, a weird thing about these legends, they don't actually require essence in order to level up. Instead, you need rumors. The more you explore this region, the more rumors you uncover, and it's kind of like getting a free upgrade. 1, 2, 3. If you're not asleep, I'll see. Seems like nighttime. Let's go ahead and go for a bonus there. 4, 5, 6. I enter your room and play my tricks. I mean, I'm already feeling a little bit afraid. Oh, good. We finally can get our second agent. Welcome back, Renee. All right, that's good. And we have our rival on the map. Brilliant. Well, we do need to continue exploring in Northern Europe as well, so let's go ahead and explore this so I can set down another one of my rumors. Final upgrade for the Black Dog, we'll say the Forests. There we go. That is another bonus for me, and now this has reached its maximum level. It brings hell between its teeth. Not sure if that's actually going to be enough, but we will find out. Back to the Bogeyman over here. Song, yes, it's definitely singing a scary song, isn't it? 789. Any child in my sack is mine. Now let's see, we did want to make Relaxum the most powerful thing here in Northern Europe, so I need to go for another one of these form conspiracies. Maybe chemtrails, maybe the homicidal nurse. And we should probably infiltrate our opponent. Find out who the heck is over here. Who is this? Julie Lacroix. Okay. Founder and president of the Clean Europe Foundation, an ultra-conservative French movement. Well, I get a feeling that she and I are not going to see eye to eye. Go back to your islands. Well, that's just racist. We need to uncover some dirt on this lady. She wants to place down a narrative over here in Northern Europe. I can try to block her from doing something like that if I were to place down literally anything else, but I've only got one additional, no, I've got two actually, two additional narratives I can use here. We've got the Fallen Innocents, and then we have chemtrails, but I might need those to get me over the edge here in Western Europe and Central Europe. So I don't think I want to spread this over here, at least not yet. Let's poke around in this lady's archives. We find a fake biography. The president's humble origins won't appeal to her upper crust friends. Okay. We can finish off the Bogeyman over here. Let's see, cold hair, kidnapping. That seems like the sort of thing that the Bogeyman's gonna do. All right, and once you have maxed out this spine-chilling lullaby, this thing is going to then level up because of the local legend, and it becomes Krampus himself! Oh, no. Well, completely understandably, this absolutely terrifies Central Europe, and we can go ahead and claim this region. Welcome back to the comic book. The campaign will be a smashing success, Miss Hammonds. What? There are side effects? No. Destroy this immediately. Look, you weren't under the illusion that we were one of, like, the good guys or anything, were you? All right, they just placed down a card over here in Northern Europe, and this is going to start eating away at my fear rating. I don't like that. Let's see. I can't use the fake biography very effectively, though. This has 2 health instead of only 1. I can get rid of this, but I'm going to need some more dirt on this lady if I want to take that sucker down. Fortunately, we did find that particular dirt. Verbal abuse. Oh, interesting. Abusing 15-year-olds. That's gonna hurt their pulling. Well, let's go ahead and place down some politics resources and then extract that. Now, fortunately, Renee has gotten strong enough in her mining skill here, her strength, that she gets 3 resources per cycle now instead of only 2. So this goes a lot faster. I'm going to go over here to Bucharest, and we are going to try to destroy this whole summer camp thing with a fake biography. There we go. Get rid of that card. All right, so that's going to hurt her at least a little bit, and she'll lose control over southeastern Europe. Oop, and her card has taken effect over here in Northern Europe. You can see that the fear is now spreading for her, and we're losing it pretty aggressively. Good thing is I've got the resources I need and the dirt. Let's go ahead and bring this verbal abuse to light to save the children, of course. And now our control over Northern Europe is once again secure. We found something else here. Oh, she's linked to paramilitary groups. Oh. Yeah, that's a bombshell headline if ever there was one. And I could really use that, given that she's actively trying to take over my control here in Central Europe, which you can lose control just because you control a region does not mean that you are immune. So let's go ahead and destroy this at the source. There we go. With this neutralized, we should be able to regain control pretty quickly. We've terrified the people of Northern Europe sufficiently, so we can now try to claim that particular region. Oh, and Jen's parents. A terrible accident. Oh, well, that's just downright creepy. For funsies, let's try to burn down the rest of this card. Dirty laundry, random things we can use to try and burn this down. I need just a little bit more dirt. And despite my best efforts, Western Europe simply refuses to fall. That's fine though, that's why I saved one more of these stories in reserve, just so I'd be able to apply it where we need to. Let's go ahead and teach the French about chemtrails. Look, the fear doesn't have to be real or based on anything real. It just has to be, like, gripping. That's all that matters. All right, we'll go ahead and burn this sucker down. We've gotten rid of that political initiative movement, and she's got nothing left to work with. Bye-bye. Gotta take care of some unexpected matters, huh? Seems like some very influential people who are pulling the strings in favor of her movement are gonna be very angry. And actually, no, this was all I need in order to get Western Europe. We're done. Boom, grab it, mine, haha. I don't know what Jen has with this thing about surrounding herself by eyeballs, but it's a little bit upsetting. Ah, man, in the eyes of God. Maybe that's what she wants, a bucket full of eyes. Anyway, I have successfully spread my influence throughout Europe. Now we have control over the market of extremely addictive opiates. And now all of Europe is at my feet, which is great, but not quite enough. This is gonna lead to the ultimate plot. You see, Jen has an idea how she can rise to fame and power at a global level. She plans to develop the world's most terrifying swine flu and spreading that to the world, or at least making them believe that it will spread to them, and then have her own miraculous vaccine ready and waiting. This map is interesting because there's actually only one region to worry about. We'll go ahead and place, let's say, right over here around Rome. Nice, good central location. What we have to do is a special objective. We have to convince all of Italy that they actually don't like animals anymore. They're not going to revoke their ban on animal testing. And once that ban is lifted, I'll be able to extract whatever information I need in order to forge a great virus. There's still going to be a rival, of course. We're going to have some do-gooders who actually seem to care about animals and want to expose their terrible treatment. Yeah, this guy right here. Head of the Natural Heart Party, a millionaire and showman who creates films, documentaries to push his cause. Disgusting. Don't think he's totally altruistic, though. He's totally planning on using my reputation as Big Pharma in order to create a common enemy that draws in voters to his party. Now here's something I can't allow. All right, so he is trying to boost up animal support. However, I could, pass around some information that he raises and eats suckling pigs. Oh man, what a hypocrite for an environmental leader, especially during a swine fever epidemic. How dare you? It's like, oh, how very dare you? Don't you know of my friend Al Gore? What about my Nobel Prize? No Nobel Prize for you, buddy. Honestly, it's really important we don't allow any of his documentaries to stick around for very long. If he's able to do that, he will be able to destroy us really quickly. Let's go ahead and link this guy to an abuse scandal. There we go. And now he's got nothing left. A complete and total disaster. That's what I was looking for. Goodbye, sir. And with no one to defend the animals, we can go ahead and begin some rumors. Yeah, there we go. Launch a few hashtags. That'll destroy the animal rights. Just need to farm out a little bit of this Gaia resource. Perfect. Support for animal rights fall down to very low levels. And with absolute 100% crippling fear in Italy, we can now conquer the region and complete this particular mission. A new plague shall be unleashed upon the world, SHV1. But it so happens, we have a miracle cure ready to go. Now, as much as I would like to play through Mission 4 of 4 in Jen's campaign to control the world, I'm well aware that there are only 3 campaigns in this game, and if I spoil absolutely everything, you'll have no incentive to find out what happens to Jen on your own, now will you? But what you can see here is she does have plans to build the fear of the new virus and create an artificial demand for a vaccine for a disease that, frankly, might not even be very transmissible amongst humans in the first place. But that doesn't matter. We need to have a state of worldwide pandemic. It must be mandatory that everyone gets vaccinated, and the patent, of course, should be protected with our company. A truly dastardly plan by Jen, but will it work out for her the way that she's envisioning? Will she achieve her greatest wish? Or is this machine basically a glorified monkey's paw, and she's about to learn the hard way what happens when the fear machine devours your story? I guess you'll just have to find out for yourself. Oh no, I'm sorry to antagonize you. And that's the Fabulous Fear Machine, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's a pretty interesting idea for a game. The mechanics are pretty interesting and certainly a unique concept. I think one thing that really draws my attention, though, is just the art style is fantastic. This pulp horror, old-timey comic style, not something you see very often, a very bold choice, but pretty fascinating. Once again, I want to say thank you to the publishers for sponsoring this video and giving me an opportunity to show off what this game has to offer. If you guys want to learn more and find out what happens to Jen Hammond and to additional Masters of the Machine, then there is going to be that link in the description down below. And of course, I remind you that the game is currently going to be on sale during the launch week. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell. And I will see you guys next time.